Hi, this is Vi from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm doing a product review, a comparison between my Gold Press foil and my Glimmer foil. I do have a video in where I showed you how to use background foils, like this one, background foiling dies. I have that one and this one. And I went ahead and compared what I got using the Gold Press and what I got using the Glimmer. And then it was basically it was a discard because both of them was pretty good on giving me a good solid foiling, except for this one. I think there's a little area right here in the middle which it's not as hot as the edges. The edges are very hot, the middle is not as hot, and it could be because I'm using my Evolution machine, and maybe the distribution of the pressure is not across the whole area, and that could be it. It could be a combination of my die cutting machine that I'm using. It could be a combination of my system that I'm using, but I always got areas, especially when I try to transfer the discard to another piece of sheet, always the middle. I always had issues with the middle. And you know what? I never really tried to see if my Anna Griffin Cuttlebug would cause that. I don't know. When I was using my Cuttlebug and my Sizzix, I was having mixed. I was not very happy with the results, needless to say. So I went ahead and got the Evolution, and with the Evolution, because I can dial up and down the pressure. So let me show you what I'm talking about. The Evolution has dials, so you can adjust the lever of those rollers however you need to adjust it in order to accommodate your sandwich. So I got the Evolution just because I figure with this machine the Evolution will work very well, and it has worked pretty well, except in the middle. You know, some of these, when I try to do the discard, the middle is not as great as I like it. But then, you know, I went ahead and got the Glimmer foil, and with the Glimmer foil, I do have a video where I test it, and let's see if I can find that one. Okay, so here it is. So then I did a test with this one. I did a test with my Glimmer, and with my Glimmer, you see that it's a better transfer. Using still the Evolution had a better transfer than my Gold Press foil right here in all of them. So that's an issue there. Here's another one, issue there. See, it's kind of like in the middle. I think I'm losing some heat here in the middle. It's not as strong as it should be. So now let's go ahead and talk about today's experiment. So that was a video that I did earlier. I'll put the link so that way if you want to see that video and how I did it and the comparison, you may want to look at that if you're on the fence between buying a Gold Press foil and a Glimmer. Now there is a newer version of this one that I saw on YouTube. This is old. This is from Anna Griffin way back when I got it at HSN. So it's an older model. So that could be it. The newer model might be better, but I'm not going to get the newer model. I'm comparing my old model and then the new Glimmer that I got. Then I was doing, so the other thing that I was trying out, I have another video where I tried out the cheapo foil from Amazon. So these foils from Amazon are very cheap, and you get a lot. They're not the Spellbinder foils. They're the ones, generic foils from Amazon. And you can even see the backing is different. It's kind of different backing. The Spellbinder, the backing it's silver. The backing is a yellow color or gold color. And you do get good results if you're using sentiment dies, but if you try to use that for a regular die stamp, you know, one of the other stamps, a design stamp, it doesn't transfer as well. But for my words, it does pretty good. So you can see there, these are some of my samples that I did. However, there were some failures in this too. These are all not from these are all from the gold press. I have not tested out with the Glimmer. And see, there was some failure here in the middle. It's always in the middle. So this one, actually, I did it twice, because see, right in here, this went this way. Yeah, I had it this way, and I rolled it. Just right in here, notice that the sentiment in the middle did not transfer. Then I ran it this way, and it transferred better. So I'm telling you, I think there's something in the middle with this plate that doesn't evenly transfer everything. So these were all done. All of them was done with the gold press foil. I'm going to test out. Now I want to test this one against the Glimmer. So I'm going to use the same foil from Amazon, the cheap foil. And we're going to start out like we did the last time with the gold press. So I'm going to start out with the gold press. I got some Spellbinder sentiment dies that I'm going to use. I'm going to use some of these and some of these. These are Merry Christmas, so I'm not going to use any of those. And see, this was one that I did early on. That one's good, but that one was a failure. So the reason I'm cutting these is because what I do is I have all the sentiments here that you can see here. And this is my typewriter. So what I do is I cut these out. I do have the coordinating dies, the strip dies. So I'll just use my strip dies, and when I need a sentiment, I just cut it out. And that way I don't have to be looking for a nice sentiment for my card. So that's why I kind of put them in here, and then I store it away for when I need it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I'm going to have to heat up my machine, get it nice and hot. So by the way, you really need to give it at least 5 minutes to really get your machine nice and hot. I'm going to put this over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring my Evolution over here so hopefully you can see when I run it through. We are going to use the same kind of cardstock. So I'm using, all my experiments are using this flat card and envelope cardstock from Recollection. It has a nice smooth center or smooth surface. So that's what we are going to use. This time I'm going to use, this nice gold color. One for the Glimmer, one for my hot foil one. And then I'm going to use gray. So let's use some nice gray. So I'm going to use these two. Okay. So we're going to compare the gold press with my Glimmer plates. And let's see what results we get. You plug it in. For this one, you just hit the button. It blinks. And we got to wait until it gets nice and green. And then at that point, we'll go ahead and put our plates. So I'll come back in a second. So now it's nice, it's green. So I'm ready to put my foil. And cut my foil to size. Okay, and then I'm going to get the smooth size down. Just want to make sure that I have it just right. I have extra shims here, so I'm just going to start with 2 shims. And these are, this is 110 shim, and these are 80-pound shims. We'll start with 2 shims. I'll close the lid. I'm going to pull it out, and then I'm just going to run it slowly. I have it set at a number 5. So very slowly. You want to give it time to transfer. And then I'm going to go back. Put it back on. And let's go ahead and look and see what we got. I can see that it transferred because you can see raised on the back side, and it did not transfer. Maybe it doesn't work on this type of cardstock. Okay, I'm gonna try a different type of cardstock. Let me go get some. I thought that's the cardstock I used. Maybe I use a different kind. So I'm just gonna get my 110-pound Recollection cardstock, some of those, and let's see what I have here. Okay, so we have to change the cardstock. I tried it and it was an epic failure with that cardstock that I have. It did not transfer. So the Spellbinder foil works well with that type of cardstock. And all these examples that I showed you was actually using 110-pound Recollection cardstock and not the one that was in that pack. So I went ahead and cut 4 sheets. And this is the cardstock we need to use for this foils. So I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece of foil. Go ahead and put it on here. Then I'm going to go ahead and center this on my cardstock on here. 110-pound shim and 80-pound shim. I'm going to close it. I'm going to pull it. And now let's run it through. So one tip for foiling is that each foil, it depends on the cardstock, on the foil and the foil you're using. It's going to depend your results, and also the machine, the pressure. So there's a lot of variables. So once you get just the right variable, once you do your experiments, I recommend that you write it down. I know for a fact that this foil will not work with these Recollection flat cards that I showed you earlier. It does work with the cardstock, the Recollection cardstock that comes in a pack. 110, I get it at Michael's. It worked fine with that. So I had 2 in there. So here you go. It worked very well with this. See, that middle part did not come out right. Everything else. So it's always that area right there. And, you know, it's this area right here. I don't think it gets as hot as the other ones. But you can always take some gel pen and go over it. So I can still use that. Okay, so that is this one. I'm going to write on here so when we do our comparison at the end, we know what type of cardstock this was. So this is the Gold Press. So I'm going to put here Gold Press. I'm going to save the discard because then we're going to test out if I can reuse this discard. I can never reuse the discard. Just to let you know, it can never be done with this foil. This is what I get each and every time I try to repurpose the discard. So we're going to experiment and see if that's going to happen. So now let's go ahead and change machines. So I'm going to move this aside. I'm going to turn off this machine. And then I'm going to have to get my Glimmer machine up to temperature before we try the experiment. Oh wait, actually, I lied. What we need to do is, I should put it back. So let me put it back. Because I need to test the gold. I did the gold. I need to test the silver. Okay, so it's to temperature. So the first thing we're going to test out with the Go Press and foil is the silver. And let's see. So I put my paper. Okay, it looks like it transferred pretty nice. Let's look and see. No, it didn't. See? Look at that. It really didn't transfer nicely on here. Now, notice that this cheap foil is not the greatest with this plate. So I'm going to turn it off. Let's see what we get with with the Glimmer plating system, or the Glimmer foiling system. So I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to plug in the other one, and then I'll come back when it's nice and hot. Okay, so my green light is on. I'm going to go ahead and get a strip of this foil. And then I'm going to get cardstock, put it on top. I'm going to go ahead and put a shim on here, and actually I'm going to change this to number 4 because I noticed that I need to change this to a 4 in order to get good results and not damage my plate. I'm going to go ahead and push this and let the timer go. So it is done. So carefully, so I don't shift things, I'm going to pull it and see how it shifts. So you got to be careful. Then I'm going to put my cardstock, 110 pound. I'll use this shim and then the next shim. And let me see how well it foils. And I think I'm going to need more pressure, so maybe I need to bring it up to a number 6. Not sure. So let's put it back in. Yeah, it didn't even transfer here, so I'm going to move this to maybe number 6. Put it back on. It's not ready, so actually I'm just gonna that's the problem with this thing. It moves, see, it moves. I don't like it because of that. So I'm gonna redo this. Okay, so it's ready. It's the temperature. Let's pull it out. See what I mean? I don't know about that. I don't like it. That is so hard to pull. Put that there. I'm going to try this again. And then pull it through. It is set at a number 6 on my Evolution machine. If anybody has a tip of how to pull this this plate out without shifting stuff, I would love to hear it. Okay, that looks a lot better. Oh, look at that. Really big difference. Big difference. Let me bring back this one. Look at that. Not too good. Look at this. Big difference. I'm telling you, it is the Glimmer plates, the Glimmer foiling system is the way to go. So far, I've been happy with it. Okay, so now we're going to try the other foil. Okay, it's ready to go. Let me pull it out. Okay, adjust it. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my sandwich. And then I'm going to run it through. So I put the 2 shims that came with this foiling system, and then I put an extra piece of cardstock, 110 pounds. Using my Evolution, I have the dial set at number 6. I think I did it even over foiled over here. It looks very good. Look at that. Very, very good. Okay. So I'm not going to even waste time to see if the discards get transferred with this plate. But I did get some nice impressions. Let me bring back what we got. Okay, so I got them right here. The gold press and foil was an utter failure. I mean, you get mixed result because I was able to get some good ones and some bad ones, but it's not consistent. So these were bad. This one wasn't too bad. So it's not consistent. And as you saw here, really all of them was a failure. So you may get 1 or 2 out of like 5 tries. But with the Glimmer foil system and using the bad foil from Amazon, I got a good impression, which is perfect for your sayings. So you can just use this for your sentiments. I won't recommend it for your big dies, your big enfoiling dies, because I don't really get a good impression when I use it for big dies. But I do use it for my sentiments because it's cheaper and I can just make a lot of sentiments. I'll throw the excess and you get quite a bit. I've had this for 3 years now, and look, you get quite a bit of this foil. So for the sentiments, it's good. So my conclusion to this video is that if I am to choose between the Glimmer hot foil system and my this system, the gold press system, if I am to choose between these 2 systems, I will pick the Glimmer foiling system over the gold press and foil. And it's all around it. So it does do a decent job of foiling your big foiling dies. However, this one has an area in the middle that does not heat up very well. I always get, that area is always having spots that doesn't get foil, in which I usually cover it with a saying so you don't see it, because the foil of the outside of this plate, it's hotter, it seems, than the middle part. So it's okay. But if I saw this one and I saw this one, both of them were about the same price, I would always get the Glimmer foiling system. I will not get this one. Now this one, I happened to get it when I bought it 5 years ago on HSN, and I got a coupon. It was $70, so it wasn't, at the time it wasn't bad actually, and I did use it. Not as much because I was always getting frustrated with the results I was getting, so I used it a little bit, not as how I should be using. This one, however, I bought it at Hobby Lobby for $74.99. So, and it's not bad either. So this one, it was pretty good. Now with the HSN, I had to pay shipping. Actually, no, I had it for free shipping. So I did find free shipping with no tax. This one, I had to pay some tax because I bought it locally at Hobby Lobby. But overall, this one is the way to go. And if the only foil that I got is the cheap one, you want to get this one. This Glimmer hot foil. So I hope I was able to do a good review for you, and if you were on the sidelines about getting this one versus the other one, that this is the way to go. So I hope you liked this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.